Hi, today we'll talk about major differences between Korean and most of the European languages, particularly English, because this lesson is in English. You may ask, why do I need this? This has nothing to do with learning Korean. Well, the most challenging things when we learn a foreign language are vocabulary, grammar, and the ability to make sentences using this vocabulary and grammar. To be able to make sentences, you should be familiar with the sentence structure of this language. If you have no idea about the sentence structure, it may slow down your learning process, especially speaking, writing, and even understanding texts. That's why there are many Korean language learners who know some vocabulary and grammar, but they struggle with making complex sentences, or those who, even after learning Korean for more than 1 year, when they read a text in Korean, they know every word and every grammatical structure, but they cannot translate the text. For this reason, before starting to learn the Korean grammar, I want to show you how different Korean sentences are from English sentences. Knowing this information in advance is going to help you to speed up your learning process. So the Korean language belongs to the Altaic language family, and all languages from this family share similar sentence structure. I would say up to 90%. This sentence structure is different from the European languages, Southeast Asian languages, Chinese, and Arabic, but similar to many Indian languages. The reason why I'm telling you all this is if you speak one of these languages, then learning Korean is going to be a bit easier for you. And if in the future you will decide to learn any of these languages, then you will learn it faster than others who don't know these languages. So there are about 25 languages in this family, including Turkish, Central Asian languages, Mongolian, Korean, Japanese, and several others used in the Asian part of Russia. By the way, most of people who live on these territories, colored in dark blue, can understand each other up to 80 or 90% without even learning each other's language. It's because their vocabulary is very similar. Okay, the first thing that most of the European languages have and Korean doesn't have are articles. This makes it easier to learn Korean. The second thing is the same verb form, regardless of a number of subjects performing an action, whether it's one person or more than one person. Also, the verb form is the same regardless of the subject's gender. In Korean, you don't have to conjugate the verb, whether the subject is he or she, unlike Spanish, Portuguese, Arabic, or Russian, where you do have to conjugate verbs and even adjectives depending on the subject's gender. The third major difference between Korean and most of the other languages is a word order. In the Korean language, you should put verbs at the end of a sentence, like so. I Korean learn, you tea drink, we games play, he book write, okay? And if it's a complex sentence like I learn Korean and he writes a book, put the verbs at the end of its own sentence. I Korean learn and he book write. This is the sentence number 1 and this is the sentence number 2. You shouldn't put both learn and write at the end, okay? So now let's take a look at the word order for prepositions. I was born in Korea. Put this on the table. Tell about yourself. First, we took these verbs and put at the end of the sentence. Next thing what we have to do is to take these prepositions and put them after nouns they are related to. In the Korean language, prepositions are called postpositions because they're placed after nouns, not before like in English. Take a look at this sentence. You should be familiar with this. In the previous lesson, we learned a few phrases, and one of them was I came from. Your country name. 저는 country name에서 왔습니다. We used this word order. He came from Peru. In Korean is 그는 페루에서 왔습니다. Okay? So the next difference is sentence ending. There are 4 types of sentences you can find in any language: declarative, interrogative, imperative, and exclamatory. I go to school is a statement. It can be positive or negative. For example, I don't go to school. It's a negative sentence, but it's still a statement, right? Do I go to school is a question. Please go to school is a suggestion or advice. Go to school is a command. And wow, you go to school, it's an exclamation. So in Korean language, depending on the type of a sentence, you should add different sentence ending particles. I go to school in Korean is 저는 학교에 갑니다. 가요, 가, 간다. Do I go to school is 저는 학교에 갑니까? 가요, 가, 가냐, 가니. You may ask why there are 3 versions of everything. It's because there are 3 levels of politeness in the Korean language. And depending on who you are talking to, you should either say 갑니다, 가요, or 가, 간다. If you talk to older people, say 갑니다. And if you talk to kids or friends, you can say 가 or 간다. Okay? So the same sentence in imperative form would be 학교에 가십시오, 가세요, 가요, 가. This 4 can be a command or an advice depending on intonation. And to express surprise, you can say 학교에 가는구나, 학교에 가는구나, 학교에 가는군, 학교에 가네요, or 학교에 가네. We took a verb as an example, and in Korean language, adjectives and nouns also have sentence endings, which are 99% same as verb sentence endings. For example, this book is expensive. 이 책이 비쌉니다. 비싸요, 비싸, 비싸다. Or, is this book expensive? Is 이 책이 비쌉니까? 비싸요, 비싸, 비싸냐, 비싸니? Imperative form for adjectives doesn't exist in all languages. So exclamatory form for 비싸다 is 비싸군요, 비싸구나, 비싸군, 비싸네요, 비싸네. If you are lost or have a headache because of all what I have explained until now, it's totally fine. You're not the only one. You don't have to memorize all this now. It's not the purpose of this lesson. It's just a quick overview of Korean grammar. I wanted to show you how the Korean language is different from English. Because if you know this information in advance, it is going to help you to learn Korean faster. So don't worry if you didn't understand most of this, okay? I will explain this in more detail in future lessons. Okay, let's take a look at sentence endings for nouns. They are slightly different from verbs and adjective sentence endings. This is a book would be 이것은 책입니다. 책이에요. 책이요. 책이야. 책이다. And if you want to ask, is this a book? Then say 이것은 책입니까? 책이에요. 책이요. 책이야. 책이냐. 책이니? And to express surprise, say 이것은 책이군요. 이것은 책이구나. 이것은 책이군. 책이네요. 책이네. So we are done with sentence ending, and the last difference between Korean and English I want to draw your attention to is how to compose sentences in Korean. Korean is an agglutinative language. What does this mean? For example, if you want to say something like, if I did not watch, in English you use 3 different parts of speech. if, did not. In order to say that the verb watch is in a negative form, in the past tense, and it's conditional, right? And if you want to say the same thing in Korean, what you have to do is to attach different particles to the verb or an adjective, like so. Take a look at a few more examples. If I buy this, 제가 이것을 사면, I bought this but, 제가 이것을 샀지만, because I bought this, 제가 이것을 샀기 때문에, before I bought this, 제가 이것을 사기 전에. So, starting from the next lesson, we will talk about grammatical particles like what you see over here. And we will learn how to use them to make complex sentences like this one. Today I was going to meet my friend, but 제가 오늘 제 친구를 만나려고 했는데 이 친구가 갑자기 전화해서 This friend suddenly called and 서울로 가야 한다고 했으니까 because he said that he had to go to Seoul. 못 만났어요. I could not meet him. Okay, that's all for today. I hope now you have some idea about what the Korean language is like and how it is different from your native language. You have two homework. First is to learn these words, as we are going to use them in the next lesson. And second is to practice reading in Korean as fast as you can. Okay, if you have any questions or suggestions on how to improve this course or what do you think about this course, you can leave them in the comments. Thank you in advance and have a great day.